You're never gonna make it. You're meant to fail. That's what it feels like sometimes, doesn't it? Like the whole system is stacked against us. Like no matter how hard we try, we fail. And it can leave us wondering, why do we fail? Why do we face pain, heartbreak, and defeat? Why does life seem so unfair at times? Is it because we're just not good enough? Or is the world just built to break us? Is it because we were never meant to win in the first place? Or is it something way deeper? A hidden reason that most of us have never even thought to question. In this video, I will discuss a reason behind failure that almost no one ever talks about. Something that probably 80% of people are completely unaware of. The failures, the setbacks, the nights that make you question everything about your life. Well, I've experienced all of those. From losing my dad at 15 years old, to near-death experiences in the Navy, and almost losing everything at 38, and again at 53. I've asked myself these same exact questions. I've hit rock bottom. I've read hundreds of books, traveled the world, and searched for answers in every corner I could find. And what I discovered after years of trial and error and relentless digging changed everything for me. And now, in the next 5 minutes, I will tell you that discovery. By the end of this video, you'll finally understand why we fail. And once you see it, you'll never look at failure the same way again. Hi, I'm Jim Mathers, entrepreneur, author, and international speaker. My mission is to inspire, educate, and motivate you to live the best life possible. Now, many people say failure is a learning experience. It builds character. We have to fail in order to grow. And all we have to do is keep going no matter what. Yes, those things are true, but they don't make it hurt any less. Knowing that failure is a learning experience doesn't help when we've poured our heart into something and failed anyway. These common reasons behind failure don't silence that voice in our head that whispers, "You're just not good enough." They don't help when we find ourselves empty-handed, questioning our decisions and dreams. They don't help make the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the shame go away. None of these cliches feel like real answers. They feel like Band-Aids on bullet wounds. Because when we fail, it doesn't just hurt. It shatters us. It breaks everything we thought we knew about life, about success, about ourselves. And we start to question our worth, our abilities, our destiny. Work hard, stay positive, keep going, and it'll all work out, right? Not right. And maybe, just maybe, we've been told the wrong story about failure all along. Think about this story. When Thomas Edison was a child, his teacher sent him home from school with a sealed letter for his mother. Young Thomas, crying, handed it to his mother and asked her what it said. She read it quietly, then looked at her son and smiled through her tears. She told him the letter said he was simply too intelligent, that he was too far ahead of the other students, too brilliant for their school, and that he needed to be taught at a higher level of education. From that moment on, she homeschooled him herself. She poured everything she had into his education. And Thomas Edison went on to become one of the greatest inventors in history. But it wasn't until years later, after his mother passed away, that Edison found that letter in one of her diaries. Remembering that day, he opened it with a smile, but was quickly surprised by what he actually read. The letter didn't say he was brilliant. It said he was expelled from school because he was confused, deficient, and mentally slow and couldn't be taught. In that moment, Edison realized something. He had become who he was because of one person's belief, his mother's, a faith so strong that it rewrote the narrative of failure in his life. This story makes one wonder, what is the true difference between failure and success? What if it is about something deeper? Something we don't even realize is missing? And maybe that's the real question. Why do some people give everything they have and still lose? Why do others seem to glide through life while we fight for every inch? Why do some of us keep failing again and again, no matter how hard we try? That's the part that no one talks about, the silent war inside, the thoughts that creep in late at night. Maybe I'm just not built for this. Maybe this is all I'll ever be. And once we realize we failed, we start blaming ourselves deep down inside. We wear our failure like a name tag. But what if? What if we've been looking at failure all wrong? What if there's a piece to this puzzle no one ever showed us? Failures force us to ask questions we never would have asked. And that's what I did. I reached a point in my life where I was tired of failing, and I set out to understand why we fail. And what I found after all my searching, all my failing, all my questioning, is that there's not just one reason we fail. There's three. Three truths most people never talk about. Three hidden forces that quietly shape our outcomes, even when we think we're doing everything right. The first one, it's because our identity hasn't caught up with our vision. What does that mean? We fail because we're still trying to chase the future with the mindset of our past. We develop the dream, but not the identity that can carry it and achieve it. Deep down, we're still showing up as who we were, not who we need to become. We can't build a new life with old patterns. We can't attract abundance when we still think like someone who's broke. We can't lead others if we're still doubting ourselves. And no matter how hard we push, life holds back what we're not ready to hold. We can't build a future with a mindset built on our past. See, there's this idea that success is something we slowly grow into, like we have to earn it piece by piece. That we fail, we learn, we struggle, but we get back up and we keep on going. And eventually, if we're lucky, we make it. Yes, some people do make it, but many don't. And here's what no one tells you. There is a shortcut, and it starts by making one radical decision. To become who we want to be right now. Success doesn't wait for permission. That version of you who can achieve that dream, it's not someone or something you will eventually become. That version of you doesn't live in the future. That version of you is already inside you, waiting. The future you already exists right now. And we don't have to wait until we've earned it to step into it. All we have to do is simply recognize it. Embody it completely. Become it right now. Act like it's already true. And do that before the world believes it. We tell the world what to believe about who we are. Don't wait for recognition. And here is the biggest secret that most people never realize. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. You can't build a future with a mindset built on your past identity. Okay, now here's the second reason. Because we are unconsciously protecting ourselves from success. This one's hard to spot because it hides in plain sight. No matter how badly we say we want success, no matter how hard we think we try, there's a little part of us, deep, quiet, and cautious, that doesn't want that success. You see, the mind craves stability, predictability, and control. It wants safety, and it wants to avoid failure. And success? Success demands the opposite. It requires stepping into the unknown, doing the unusual, taking risks we've never taken before, and becoming someone we've never been. And that triggers our oldest instinct, self-protection. So even when we think we're reaching for more, a small string is always tied to our comfort zone, stability and predictability, where things are safe. A little voice that says, be careful. What if it doesn't work? What's your backup plan? That voice isn't trying to sabotage us. It's trying to keep us safe. But safe doesn't build big dreams. Safe doesn't create breakthroughs. Safe doesn't lead to greatness. And so, without even realizing it, we hesitate. We delay. We hold back just enough to keep one toe in the comfort zone. And we fail. Not because we're incapable, but because we're playing defense against our full potential without even realizing it. Sometimes failure isn't punishment, it's protection. Not from the world, but from ourselves. But here's the shift. What if you let go of that fallback plan? What if you went all in? No strings, no safety net, no excuses. No doubt in your mind that you'll make it. What if success is the only option? You will rise in ways you never thought possible. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move through the fear. It's doing the unthinkable, the impossible, despite all the reasons not to. See, reaching that dream you have, finding your success, it isn't about being fearless. It's about being fully committed even when you're terrified. So yes, your mind may try to protect you, but your soul, it's begging you to leap full-heartedly. And when you do, you'll realize success was never really as scary as staying stuck in the past. And even if we do break free from fear, even if we do commit, step into the unknown, and give it everything we got, there's still one more reason we might fail. And it's the most overlooked reason of all. Because it's not about desire, it's not about talent, it's about something we were never taught, something that no one prepares us for. That third reason, it's because we've never been taught how to handle failure, only how to avoid it. From the moment we enter school, we're taught one thing: get it right, get the grade, win the trophy, be the best, don't mess up, don't fall behind, don't fail. We're rewarded for victory, perfection, and success, not progress. So we grow up chasing the result, but never learning how to handle the reality. No one teaches us how to fail, how to feel shame, how to give up completely without letting that one failure define who we really are. So when failure hits, we collapse. Not because we're weak, but because we were never taught how to fail. We were trained to chase success, not to survive failure. And here's the secret that I learned. We were never taught how to fail, we were only taught how to avoid it. So when failure happens, it feels like the end of the road. When in truth, it was never really failure at all. What if failure doesn't even really exist? What if it's just a word we gave to the in-between moments, that stretch of time between who we were and where we are heading? When you're chasing something that really matters, a dream that's real to you, a goal that lights you up, suddenly, failure disappears as a concept. It isn't failure anymore. It's just part of the process. It becomes a part of the adventure, the challenge, the fuel. And when we face what we know as failure, you simply take on the challenge and you ask, hey, let's see what happens next. Because when you're truly aligned with where you're going, every setback becomes momentum, every obstacle becomes meaning, and every so-called failure becomes just one step closer to who you're meant to be in this adventure we call life. So why do we fail? Sometimes it's because we're chasing big dreams, but still thinking like the old version of ourselves. Other times, it's because we're secretly holding back, protecting ourselves from the very success we say we want. And most of the time, it's just because we were never taught how to fail, how to get back up, or how to see failure for what it really is, just part of the journey. But now, you know. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not lost. You are successful. You have what it takes inside you already. And the moment you shift how you see failure, the moment you stop fearing it and start understanding it, is the moment you become unbreakable. So whatever it is you're chasing, don't stop. Don't let the past hold you back. And don't wait for permission to become who you were born to be. Because you were never meant to stay small. You were meant to rise. Now before you go, hit the subscribe button to avoid missing my next video. For more content like this and to learn about my Millionaires Club, visit my website at jimmathers.com. And remember, life is a journey. It's made to be lived and experienced to the fullest. And most of all, it was made to be fun. Let's make the most of it together and have a great day.